If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Tank Davis or Jake Paul. So, immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what?
Jake Paul is unequivocally the most successful fighter in history 4 years in. No one comes close. No one.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta, Tank Davis is reportedly set to happen. According to Jake, the fight will be an exhibition match and nearly everything is finalized. The bout is expected to take place after Davis completes his rematch with Lamont Roach. The announcement has stirred major excitement, with fans eager to see these two big names square off in the ring. Promotional content is already in the works, and both camps are ready to move forward once the Roach rematch is out of the way.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. But, and so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, like, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that, like, we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? Like, if he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure. Like I said, big events. And, you know, when we had announcement videos filmed for Canelo and for Gervonta, like both filmed and fully edited. And my team went into the streets to ask people what they thought of me versus Gervonta. Every single person was like, Gervonta would kill Jake. He's going to die, all of this stuff. And so just proving people wrong and changing the narrative and showing people that I'm a better boxer than all of these so-called pound for pound is just fun for me.
Jake Paul's win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. marks a turning point in his boxing journey. With this victory, he's now officially ranked among the top 15 cruiserweights, a major accomplishment for someone once dismissed as just a social media personality trying out boxing. This new ranking means Jake can no longer be ignored. Current champions may soon feel pressure to defend their belts against him to maintain their own credibility. His rise from exhibition bouts to becoming a legitimate contender shows just how much he's progressed in a short amount of time.
Now that Jake Paul won his fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he's apparently ranked top 15 cruiserweights in the world. And apparently, I guess now, world champions are able to fight voluntarily to defend their championship against Jake Paul. Which, if I'm being honest, that's kind of crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Right? You're telling me you fought somebody that's not a natural cruiserweight, right? And now you're automatically ranked top 15 and you can fight a couple of world champions and it makes sense. Not that I think he beats any of them. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't see it, bro. If Jake ends up beating somebody, yo, shout out to him. He finessed his way to the fucking top and a world champion and really like cemented himself into the history books. But the way that he boxes, he's just very sluggish. It's kind of slow. You know, I think any cruiserweight world champion, even Badu Jack, will defeat him. And I actually don't even understand why he even wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Besides the bag, obviously. But what do you guys think, though? This whole shit has gone crazy.
The buzz around a potential fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta, Tank Davis has been building for a while. Jake, known for making bold moves, took things up a notch by calling out Davis during the post-fight press conference after the Mike Tyson event. This wasn't just for show. It showed Jake's real confidence and his ambition to face top-tier fighters. Ongoing talks between both teams have only added to the speculation, making fans wonder if this unexpected matchup might actually happen. It's a storyline that's bringing even more excitement to the world of boxing.
An interested observer on the Netflix event, Paul versus Tyson.
Why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Is Jake Paul someone you'd want to take on at one point?
Yeah. Tell him, this is my call out. Jake Paul, what up? What up, Jake Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Tyson Fury, never one to hold back, shared his thoughts on the possible matchup between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis. While many assume Tank is the better fighter, Fury challenged that idea by asking, what truly makes Tank superior? He gave credit to Jake Paul for his promotional talents, saying Jake turns every fight into a major event. From pulling in fans to driving pay-per-view sales and global buzz, Fury acknowledged that Jake has built something unique. His comments highlight a key point: in today's boxing world, success isn't just about skill in the ring, but also about star power and business sense.
Fantastic event. Anyone who don't think it's a fantastic event is jealous. Who's better, at Tank Davis or Jake Paul? So, immediately, yeah, a normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down. You know what I mean?
Jake Paul's rise in boxing isn't just about what he does in the ring, it's also about how he's changed the game outside of it. He's brought a fresh approach to promoting fights, using social media, brand deals, and partnerships with platforms like Netflix to grab attention and build massive audiences. His efforts have helped bring more eyes to the sport, especially from younger fans who may not have followed boxing before. Jake also gives lesser-known fighters a platform, shining a light on talent that might otherwise go unnoticed. Even longtime boxing insiders admit he's great at building hype, selling tickets, and turning each event into something big.
Is unequivocally the most successful fighter in history 4 years in. No one comes close. No one. You couldn't list one that comes close, including Brock Lesnar if you include his WWE career. 4 years in terms of what he's done in terms of box office, pay-per-view, impact, helping other boxers, because he had platform, he had awareness, and he's got the focus and discipline to drive with.
When fans talk about Jake Paul possibly fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, they often compare it to Logan Paul's exhibition match with Floyd Mayweather, but this situation is very different. Jake has proven he's more serious about boxing than his brother, showing better skills, stronger dedication, and steady improvement over time. His size advantage over Tank also adds a layer of real intrigue. Jake has developed solid technique, noticeable power, and composure under pressure. So while it may be labeled an exhibition, many believe this wouldn't just be for show. It has the potential to be a true challenge for both men and a competitive fight fans would take seriously.
Versus Jake Paul exhibition match was going to take place after the Lamont Roach fight, until Tank drew with Roach, leading to a rematch. Now, I'm going to say the unpopular opinion here, but the size difference would have been way too much. I mean, even if Tank brought Jake down to 190 or 200 pounds, he would have still been way too big. I mean, no matter how good a lightweight is, they would have almost no chance against a cruiserweight or heavyweight ranked top 200 in his division. And I'm sure people are going to bring up Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, but Logan is just not a good boxer relative to Jake. You know, Jake's been training for a couple years, he's had over 10 pro fights, and Mayweather was also junior middleweight in this fight, not a lightweight like Tank. But that being said, I'm glad Tank and Jake isn't happening. You know, it would have been a fun spectacle, but I'm not the biggest fan of the exhibition stuff. And instead now Tank and Roach will be rematching in June. You know, the first fight did a little over 260,000 pay-per-view buys, which isn't bad in this market. Roach absolutely deserves a second fight, so I do think the rematch will do far more numbers. And as for Jake, I want to see him fight big-name boxers around his weight class. You know, the Tommy Fury rematch, for example, he's undefeated. The first fight did a little over 800,000 pay-per-view buys. He's around the same age range, so that's the fight I want to see, not the exhibitions. But let me know what you guys think.
The conversation around whether Gervonta Tank Davis will actually face Jake Paul continues to stir debate. Some fans argue that as a prize fighter, Tank should follow the biggest paydays, and a bout with Jake Paul would certainly deliver that. But others are skeptical, pointing to his recent refusal to fight Shakur Stevenson in Saudi Arabia, allegedly because he wasn't comfortable with the location. That move has led critics to question if Tank is becoming too picky about where and who he fights. They believe a clash with Jake Paul might only happen if every detail, including the venue, timing, and money, fits perfectly into Tank's plans. Otherwise, they say, he might walk away from it entirely.
I told y'all Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a prize fighter. I know a lot of you guys say, well, he doesn't fight for belts, he doesn't fight for legacy, he fights for money. He's a prize fighter, Jerry. And I'm going to assume a prize fighter is a guy who is solely making fights based off of cash reward. He'd rather fight a bum for 50 million than fight a guy who's experienced for 10 million. That is what a prize fighter would be. Actual definition, a professional boxer who competes in matches for money prizes. So let's take a look at it. Turki Al-Sheikh has declared he wants to make Tank versus Shakur. He says, My plan for Shakur is this fight. He's referring to Floyd Schofield, then William Zepeda, and then let's see if Tank wants to be in our show. Tank's not going to fight Shakur. He's not going to fight him in Saudi Arabia. So now that we've established Tank isn't a prize fighter, because if he was, his career resume would look a whole lot different, then we must ask, what is Tank's goal in boxing? I'll tell you right now, it's easy money. Tank is the type of guy, he'd rather fight, let's say, 4 Lamont Roaches for $20 million than fight 1 Shakur Stevenson for $80 million, which is fine. But I'm tired of people saying, oh, he's a prize fighter. That's why he's not taking these fights. He's not a prize fighter. The biggest money fights is Haney, Ryan, Tio, Shakur, and Loma. He's not even going to take half of those fights. So please, guys, all my Tank fans, all my guys who claim Tank is a prize fighter, that's why he's not fighting for the belts, please stop it. This guy's not a legacy fighter. He's not a prize fighter. He's just a guy who enjoys easy paydays. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Just stop misleading people with your